Hey guys, Taylor here. Today we are going to go over measuring your rifle's overall length, or really your seating depth for your bullets. Before we get started, just a reminder guys, if you like what you're seeing here, click the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think. If you want to hear about different content, if there's certain things you're interested in, I'd like to see if we can make the right kind of content for you guys. Anyway, so back to this seating depth and overall length. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to use the Sinclair overall length gauge to determine your specific chamber depth and to give you a reference point and a starting point for your seating depth of your bullets. Okay guys, so step one, we need to, take our bolt out of our rifle, and we're going to take a bullet and we're going to insert it here into our chamber up until it touches the lands. And for those of you who don't know, the lands are the, the smaller part of your rifling, the area that's actually going to contact the bullet and will begin the rotation of your bullet. So we're going to insert that all the way up to our lands, and then we're going to take our gauge here. Actually, first, there's this little Delrin sleeve that helps you guide. So you take this little knob here, and you put it in the same spot that your bolt goes on your stock. And you set that in place. There we go. And then we'll take our guide and one of these two sleeves with the larger diameter facing the chamber. And we'll slide this in there up until it touches that bullet and pushes it just snugly up against the lands. And then snug up that this stop here and tighten it up. So this is the depth, right, from here to the back of your bullet when the ogive is engaged with your lands. And I guess also for those who don't know, the ogive is this area right here where your taper, in my case it's 6.5 millimeters, begins to come down. So 6.5 millimeters is my high point on this taper. That is my ogive. So next we're going to take this bullet out. Sometimes it's easy. There we go. Comes right out. If it doesn't come right out, grab your cleaning rod and just push it out. So next, we're going to take a spent case, and it has to be a spent case. This case is formed to my chamber. The neck here has extended to hit the shoulder of my chamber, and that's what we need. It has to be a spent case. So we're going to set this in there, and we'll put this Delrin guide back in place. And then this time, so the first time, larger diameter facing the chamber. This time, the smaller diameter faces the chamber. Slide that up on, and then put this through your guide. And lock that in place. All right, so now we have our two mandrel stops set. And we need to measure this dimension right here. This is the dimension from the bolt face or the back of the case up to the bottom of the bullet. It's not all that relevant yet. We need to do some math to get us our seating depth, our starting point for our seating depth. So here we have 1.769. So we'll write that down. 1.769. And then the next thing we need, we'll get what's called a bullet comparator. Mine is Sinclair. Hornady sells one. A number of people sell them. But basically what this does is it measures your bullet not from base to tip, but from base to ogive, which is the measurement we care about. I don't care about the total length of my bullet because the only place engaging my rifle is my ogive. So we'll take this bullet, first we need to zero out our bullet comparator because that measurement is irrelevant to us. So we'll zero that out, 1.10. Good. So now I'm going to take my bullet and place it inside my bullet comparator. And there we go. So I have 0.640 from the base of my bullet to my ogive. So let me write that down. 0.640. Now, what we do is we add our 1.769 from here to our 6.40. That will give us our seating depth as we start our bullet development. All right, guys, so now we have the starting point for our overall length. And it's not a true overall length, but it's a seating depth. Overall length goes from the base of your case up to the tip of your bullet. That's irrelevant. We only care, let me rephrase that. It's irrelevant for bolt action single shot. It becomes relevant when you have a magazine or magazine fed. Overall length is important as it brings that bullet out into your chamber and as you seat the bullets into your magazine. I'm talking strictly about precision single shot bolt action. Here, it's irrelevant. We only care about the ogive to the base of your bullet. We have that starting point, and what we have is from the lands, from where your ogive engages the lands to your bolt face. This is the number, right? From here, you want to either move into your lands just a few thou, maybe as much as 5 thou, or back out of your lands so your bullet has to jump into the lands upon ignition. And you want to back out maybe as much as 15, 20 thou. I've not done a whole lot of testing, but I've read other people who state that between 10 thou off and 40 thou off, there's really no difference. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I've not tested it extensively. You can play with it. But the general rule of thumb is about +5 into your lands, -15 out of your lands. But start with this measurement that we just got, and maybe back off about 5 thou. Start there and play around with your load development and see what works for your barrel.